Hey everyone, today we're back with another roundup of some of my favorite travel and everyday carry gear. As usual, I'm on the lookout for interesting items that are going to help make my trips a little bit easier, particularly anything that's going to be able to serve multiple purposes and allow me to travel with less. And so really excited to dive in. Before doing so, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Epicka. They have some really interesting travel accessories that we'll come back to in a little bit. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Drones are definitely not something I would classify as must-have for travel, but if you do want to be able to capture some interesting footage without carrying a bunch of extra bulky gear, the DJI Neo is a really interesting option. I've been super impressed with just how compact this feels, and I really love that you don't actually need a remote to be able to fly this. That was one of the things that I always ran into when I was using my Mavic Mini drone, is that I would have to take the extra remote with me. And so that already started to take up more space. And this is something where you can just turn it on, let it fly, and it'll be able to capture the types of things that I at least would need. I'm not doing super cinematic long range drone footage, but this will get the job done if you want something that's gonna be able to follow you, something that's gonna be able to do selfie mode, and just some interesting kind of preset shots. It's got a pretty good battery life. You charge via USB-C. I don't even have to worry about taking a memory card because this records the footage right inside. And so that kind of sticks with the theme of just minimizing the number of things that I have to take with me and worry about. I've absolutely loved the follow mode on this, particularly as I'm starting to think about how to incorporate it into my workflow and have this follow me as I'm wearing a backpack that I'm testing. And so very, very cool. It's worked well. The footage is 4K. I imagine it's not the most advanced resolution, but it gets the job done for me and what I imagine would work well for most people. I like that it has the covers over the propeller, so it just feels a little safer, simpler. It's pretty lightweight. And I could even see this replacing something like a tripod, which I might take on certain trips, as I can just put this up, have this take footage of us, pictures. And so just a really versatile, useful drone, very easy to operate. And if you're kind of looking to experiment with some drone footage and you don't want to get one of the larger, kind of more professional drones, then I think that this is going to be a really cool option to take a look at. One of the most important items for me when I'm traveling abroad, particularly if I'm going to be moving between different countries, is an international travel adapter. And this is an area where the sponsor of today's video, Epicka, has a ton of experience. They have an impressive variety of travel adapters, including the latest addition to their lineup, the Pulse 45 Watt International Travel Adapter. This has a compact form factor that includes a ton of functionality. This is a type of item that allows me to reduce the number of charging blocks that I have to take with me on my trip, saving on space and weight. This series is inspired by the Earth's pulse, delivering a constant stream of energy, and is able to charge an iPhone up to 60% in just 30 minutes. I like that it offers 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, and an AC outlet. And so this is able to handle all the devices that I would typically have with me. And it's also going to allow me to charge my devices in around 200 countries. It's very easy to use. You have these sliders on the side that will allow you to select the charging outlet that's going to match up for wherever you are. And it also includes a modern PI chip similar to the technology that's used in iPhones to ensure that your charging is optimized and safe for your devices. One thing to note here is that this is not a voltage converter, which shouldn't be an issue for modern electronics like a laptop, tablet, or phone, but if you're traveling with something like a hair straightener, you'll want to make sure to check the voltage of the location that you're going to prevent any damage. The Pulse travel adapter is going to come in at $29.99, and if you use the code that I'm including in the description below, you can get 20% off. So if you're going to be traveling and you're looking for something that's going to work well in a lot of different countries, provide plenty of ports for all of your devices, and a pretty compact package that's not going to take up a ton of space, then make sure to click on the link that I've included below to pick one of these up. Multi-tools are another one of those categories of items that I typically like to have at least one of when I'm traveling. Here I have a couple of the more compact options that I've really been enjoying. And so I've mentioned this pen from A-Tech a couple of times on the channel. I really love how compact it is. It's got a ruler on it, and you have the ability to unscrew the end, and it's gonna give you a stylus and a little screwdriver. And so that's a lot of functionality packed into a very small package. This is also a pretty budget-friendly tool, and having a pen is always super helpful for filling out customs documents or whatever you might need a pen for. You can also clip this on with your keys. And then I also have a utensil multi-tool here, which is a little bit more of a unique or niche item, but I really like this one that I picked up from Kershaw. It's got a bottle opener on it. You can use it as a spoon. It's got a little fork, not super sharp. And then you have a carabiner, so you can clip this on somewhere and just use it to combine a couple of different things into a form factor that's not gonna take up a ton of space or weight. The last one that I have here is a really cool multi-tool from Night Eyes. Then this one also has a clip so that you can attach it to your bag. It's got a bottle opener. And I really like that this one has a ratcheting screwdriver with a couple of bits. And so that I always found that to be very interesting. You have a pry tool that could also be used as a flathead screwdriver. And then you have, again, a little bit of a ruler here. I always find myself using that more than I would think. And so all of these are gonna be very simple, pretty budget friendly, and they're gonna provide a lot of functionality for the space that they take up. I've talked about the Peak Design mobile wallet stand a couple of times on the channel in the past, and this continues to be one of my all-time favorite travel wallets. I love the sleek design that this has, very much in line with Peak Design's typical aesthetic. Very solid build quality on this. It's pretty slim considering how much it can hold. And so this is MagSafe compatible. It'll attach to the back of a MagSafe compatible phone, which I absolutely love, particularly because this is able to double as a stand. And so I will usually use this to hold my phone, to watch a movie on a flight, or when I'm sitting down and I don't want to hold it. And so really love the sturdiness of the hinge here. I've had this for a while now and it still just feels great. I've also used this section as a place to hold cash. That's not what it was designed to do, but it can work in a pinch. And then I really like this setup here with the flap, and you have the pull tab to, access the cards that you have on the inside. You'll need to fan them out to be able to get to the one that you need, but it's a system that has always worked well for me. And then I particularly like that it has this magnetic flap to prevent anything from falling down accidentally. That's one of the things that I've run into with some of the typical card holder wallets that I like, is that I notice that sometimes it can be a little risky with cards getting lost. And so this sort of strikes the perfect balance of the quick access, but the extra security of that magnetic flap. I've also folded up a couple of bills and tucked them into the back. So you have, a good bit of versatility given the minimal nature of this wallet. And it's gonna be a little bit heavier and slightly bulkier than maybe some options on the market, but again, for the functionality and the style that this provides, I think it's gonna continue to be one of the absolute best travel wallets that you can get. The Fyro T22 Backpack is a really versatile bag that's gonna work great as a travel companion or for everyday carry. It's got a rugged exterior fabric that's gonna offer a nice amount of weather resistance. It comes in at about 22 liters, which is a really great daily bag size, but it also has the ability to expand out to 26 liters for when you need extra space or if you want to use this for minimal travel. So I really like the flexibility that provides, and again, makes it more multi-purpose and adaptable to a variety of situations. And then you just have a really interesting feature set here. On the exterior, you have the ability to add and remove water bottle pockets if that's something that you like to use. And then you have a really comfortable harness system on the back. I've been very impressed with the padding that's been used here. It just feels very, very soft, almost gel-like, but supportive. And then you have a good width on the straps, a sternum strap with a magnetic buckle, which I'm always a fan of. And then the back panel also feels fantastic. Same sort of padding to what we saw on the straps. Well distributed. You have some elevation to provide you with airflow, and then a luggage pass-through that is vertically oriented, which is always super helpful for travel. Really like that. And then beyond that, you have the very useful organizational layout, the hatch system, which is one of the most unique aspects of the bag. So you can access this pocket from the top. You can secure it if you don't want anybody getting in there. And then you have visibility and a large opening along the front so that you can reach this internal organization. You have a zippered pocket here with a nice mesh for smaller items, two larger slip pockets. I have my sunglasses in here. You have a little lanyard with a clip for your keys. And then I really like the magnets here. Works very smoothly. And then you have a dedicated laptop compartment. I really like how these zipper pulls were designed to snap around these attachment points to give you just a little bit more theft deterrence. Well-protected zipper. And then this laptop compartment feels fantastic. Just super luxurious feeling. perfect spot for your device. You have a sleeve on the front where you can place an extra, tablet or documents, and then this is going to be well padded. You have this really nice material on the back. It almost feels leather-like or something like that. And then this will be able to handle a 15 or 16-inch laptop. Currently I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro, and it just slides in there so smoothly. Very easy to get to your device when you need to. And then for the main compartment, you have the zippers that go all the way down. It's not a clamshell style bag. You have the gussets that prevent this from allowing everything to spill out. I actually really like this layout. It provides enough visibility into the bag when you need to. And then with the 22 liters of capacity, it can hold, the same items that I typically have with me: headphones, variety of pouches, a jacket, and on the lid you have additional organization for cables and other accessories. Nice elastic material here. On the back you have some extra slip pockets. So I really like the options that have been provided. It doesn't go overboard, but it just gives you the right amount to be able to get to your stuff without having to search all throughout this main area. So really have enjoyed the Fyro backpack so far. Really love the versatility. It feels solidly built, and if you're looking for a work travel companion, this is going to be a really great option to take a look at. Nowadays, with so many different devices to charge, cable clutter is definitely a real concern, which is why I love accessories like this multi-port cable. I've actually talked about this in a prior video, but I've continued to use this so regularly, and it's such a useful accessory to have that I wanted to call it out again. And so this is a simple cable that actually has multiple ports built in. So you're able to cover a wide range of devices and combinations in this small package versus having to carry a bunch of different cables that can get tangled. I always have one or two cables on me just so that I'm not stuck if one of them happens to get ruined, and this is usually my backup. Now, they are sold in a couple of different lengths and sizes. I like this one here because you have a little bit of extra length, and so you have them secured with this cover that protect the ports, and then they're magnetized here at the ends to prevent them from getting tangled on anything. And you have here two ends. They both have multiple ports. So on one side you have USB A and C. You can open it up, it slides back. So if you have older school devices that still plug into a regular USB, you're covered. If you have a USB-C device there like a MacBook, then you can plug that directly in. And then on the other side you have a lightning port and a USB-C. And I believe there's a couple of different combinations of ports that you can get, depending on the ecosystem that you happen to be in. I have a lot of Apple devices. There's still items like my AirPods Max that use a lightning adapter. And so although I'm almost at full USB-C, for those times when I still need a lightning cable, it's been awesome to have something like this to prevent me from having to take an extra cable. HeroClips have become a very popular accessory in the carry community. I usually have one of these whenever I'm traveling. They're offered in a couple of different sizes. I have here the medium size, and I really like that this can work as a carabiner. I will typically clip this onto the handle or webbing that's on one of my bags and hang my hat off of it. And it's just available for anything that I want to clip on the outside whenever I need to. But then it also has the added benefit of being able to extend out into this combination here. So you have one end that's still a carabiner, and then you have this hook which you can use to hang stuff in a variety of places. This is particularly helpful if you're sitting at a cafe or a restaurant with a table. You can place this, hang your bag, and it's gonna stay in place. And that's the type of thing where you can't really use a carabiner. I've actually ended up flipping this, and I use it in a variety of ways depending on where I'm trying to hang my bag. So sometimes this side makes sense for something like a table, as I was saying. Sometimes the carabiner makes a little bit more sense and I can still hang my backpack off of the hook. And this is the type of thing that has come in quite handy when you're traveling. If you're at an airport restroom or something like that, I've used this to hang my bag on like a tree branch. And so it's always fun to see what sort of creative use cases I can come up with. I'll usually hang my shoes outside of my bag if I'm traveling and I don't want to place them on the inside. So lots of really interesting different ideas, and depending on the size that you get, there's probably different ways that you can even think to use them. They have the smaller ones which could even work as a keychain if needed. And so really love the versatility. The design just works very well, and if you're looking for just a cool sort of accessory to have with you that's also not going to break the bank, then this can be a really cool idea to consider. I talk about a lot of tech pouches on the channel. Evergoods has some of the ones that I use most regularly. I'm a big fan of the Civic Access Pouch 1 liter and 2 liter, but I was particularly excited when this smaller half-liter edition was announced. I think that this is such an interesting, cool form factor, and the design here just feels really useful for lots of use cases that I might not normally use one of the larger pouches for. And so, starting off with just the size, I think that this is a really cool size that offers some padding and protection. It doesn't feel overwhelmingly bulky or tough to just place into a variety of different pockets. And then you have this really cool opening here, which has a larger space in the middle, which you can use for a variety of, tech accessories, tools. At the moment, I just have some of the travel tools that I like to have with me sometimes. So, sewing kit, I have a small tape measure, I also have a little mirror. And so those are just things that'll be in my bag. Maybe not so much for travel, more of a daily carry, but when I'm traveling, I have found that some of those things are also quite useful. But you can see here that this just kind of rests on your desk. You can access pens, you can access tools, cables. I've actually used this for my sunglasses or glasses at some point. Because this is padded, I like that it can actually replace maybe some of those bulkier cases that I might otherwise take with me. I've used this for hard drives. And so that extra bit of protection that it provides feels nice. And then you have, two zippered pockets on either end. This is definitely not travel friendly. I just have a pocket knife, multi-tool in there, just tossed in some items to be able to showcase the volume. Then you have one that has mesh. I have a wired set of headphones. That's something I definitely always have with me. And so this is the type of pouch where if I'm trying to reduce maybe the size of the toiletry bag that I'm taking or the tech kit that I'm taking, I just want something that's gonna be able to hold the essentials for me and again, provide a little bit of padding, then this is gonna be a fantastic, unique option. If you're looking to travel with just one bag, it's great to have something that's durable and comfortable. And the Alpaka Elements Travel Backpack does a great job in both of those aspects. I really love the exterior materials that Alpaka uses on their bags. Here I have the special edition Mojave collection, which had an X-Pack that was in this really cool colorway. It's gonna offer a lot of durability, weather resistance. They have the black version in X-Pack as well. And then you have the aqua guarded YKK zippers. So just really, really nice materials all throughout. The aesthetic here is also really sleek, modern, slightly techy. It's got some webbing and attachment points along the exterior, so it also has a slightly kind of more technical vibe, but in general, just very, very versatile. And the sizing on this one is listed at 35 liters. To me, it carries closer to a 32 liter bag. So it's something that's very carry-on friendly. You can easily stow this into the overhead storage compartment of any flight, and it's gonna offer a good amount of capacity. So it's a really interesting size, especially with the silhouette that it has. It just kind of feels like a sleeker bag. And then on the outside, you have an external water bottle pocket. You have side handle, top handle, compression strap on the side. You have removable compression straps on the bottom, and then a very comfortable harness system. Lots of padding on the shoulder straps, sternum strap, load lifters. You have good padding on the back panel. Luggage pass through. There's also a removable waist belt if you need some additional support. And then the organizational layout on this is super useful. You have a quick access pocket on the front, a little bit smaller to be able to hold those, tech items like AirPods or charging cables. Then you have a pocket on the side that has some internal organization. So zipper pocket on the lid, a couple of slip pockets, place for a pen or a stylus. And then you have an admin area with extra space and organization. So this goes pretty much to the bottom of the bag. It's a little bit taller, slip pockets on the back, some additional pocketing on the lid, webbing to pair up with Alpaka's ecosystem of accessories. You have a dedicated laptop compartment that is padded, suspended. You have a soft material here, so it's gonna offer lots of protection. If you're somebody who is a digital nomad, working remotely, good laptop protection is a must, and this one does a great job. Has a slot for your tablet as well. This is lockable, easy to access, and then you have the clamshell style opening that gives you access to the spacious main area. Here I have the waist belt that I was mentioning earlier, same style as the shoulder straps. And then you have, in addition to the open space here, some webbing along the back to clip on additional accessories. You have some pocketing along the sides to just add a little bit of organization into this bucket of space for those things that you don't want getting lost. On the lid, you have additional pocketing here, 2 extra areas. So just lots of different options for how you organize your stuff. And again, if you are looking for something that you're gonna be able to carry on and wear for a longer period of time throughout the day, then this is gonna be a really great option to take a look at. Although I typically prefer traveling with one bag, there are plenty of situations where it just makes more sense to take a roller bag with me. And for those situations, there's lots of great options, but I've been really impressed with the Peak Design Roller Pro. This has the same quality and style that Peak Design's products typically have, and it also feels unique compared to so many of the hardshell rollers that are currently on the market. And so you have this really interesting structure that's almost like a hybrid between a hardshell and softshell suitcase. So there are some sections that aren't quite as rigid, but you still have a carbon fiber shell, feels super durable and protective. The wheels that Peak Design implemented on these work very smoothly, reliably. They're easy to repair. I also really love the telescoping handle that they have designed. It's super thin and it just works well for pulling the suitcase, for pushing it. You have handles on all sides. I really like the external attachment points that pair with some straps that Peak Design has for the suitcase to attach additional things on the exterior. And then you have a really nice carrying capacity that's carry-on friendly, and it also has the ability to expand for when you need that extra bit of space. And I really like the organizational layout that has been included here. There's a quick access area for your tech accessories. There's also a laptop sleeve that's padded. It's easy to access. This is maybe the first roller bag that has a laptop sleeve that I would feel comfortable placing my laptop into. They're just usually not as spacious as I would like. It always feels like my laptop is gonna get damaged if I pack the suitcase out, but so far the experience with the Roller Pro has been great, very seamless. And then you have more of a clamshell style opening on this bag versus the suitcase style that gives you the two compartments. And so that was something that really appealed to me because it reminds me of using a travel backpack, and it's got this cool drawbridge system that prevents it from opening all the way. And Peak Design even created a camera cube that's specifically made for the Roller Pro. So if you're somebody who's traveling with a lot of camera gear and you want an easy way to move it around, if it's heavy and you need lots of space or organization, this is a really cool, unique idea. Again, multi-purpose use, right? Maybe there's some pro photographers that need that extra space or the larger cube. So lots of options to configure that. And then you have some organization on the lid. You have a separate zippered section on the back to give you some just separation between the two segments. And this just really kind of checked off all the boxes that I normally look for in a roller bag, and in a unique way that has been a lot of fun to use. So if you're looking for your next carry-on suitcase, you're trying to replace one that you have and you want something that's going to work reliably and offer a nice amount of space and organization, this is going to be a really cool option to take a look at. And so that's it. Those are some of my favorite travel and everyday carry accessories that I've been enjoying as of late. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on the items that I featured in the video or suggestions for similar items that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to some of the other roundup videos that I've done where I've talked about my favorite minimalist travel gear at different price points, some of my favorite one bag travel options, my favorite everyday carry backpacks, some of my favorite travel clothing. And if you have ideas for other roundup videos that you'd like to see, definitely let me know about those as well. And I want to thank Epicka again for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check out all the awesome gear that they have using the link that I've included in the description below. You can also get 20% off. And I want to thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And we'll see you in the next one.